This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Governor Marum pays tribute to the late Sir Rugby Namaliu. Minister Maru emphasized on the special economic zone. And Brown Kapi Foundation celebrate National Disability Day. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. Governor for East New Britain Province, Michael Marum, has paid tribute to the late Sir Rugby Namaliu, who passed on unexpectedly in Rabaul on Friday, the 31st of March 2023. In a short tribute sent to EMTV News, Governor Marum described the passing of late Sir Rugby Namaliu as a great loss for the people of East New Britain and the nation.
It's been 2 days since the news of the passing of the late Sir Rugby Namaliu, and it is with great sadness that many tributes and condolences are flooding in as the nation remembers one of PNG's independence heroes. One of the first to be with the family on Friday was Governor for East New Britain, Michael Marum, who accompanied the body of the late Sir Rugby Namaliu to the funeral home. Yesterday, Governor Marum paid the ultimate tribute to the late Sir Rugby Namaliu when he said, and I quote, "Unfortunately, we lost a great leader in Sir Rugby yesterday. I accompanied the body last night and brought it to the funeral home. It is with great sadness I pass my sincere condolences to the family of Sir Rugby Namaliu, who passed away peacefully this afternoon. Sir Rugby was the 4th Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea and served this country with distinction. Sir Rugby is a national treasure, and his death is a massive loss not just to the people of Kokopo, East New Britain, but Papua New Guinea as a whole. On behalf of the people of East New Britain, we salute a true servant leader and a man of the people. Rest in peace, Sir Rugby Namaliu." End quote. The late Sir Rugby, along with the late Sir Makera Morata, late Anthony Siaguru, and Charles Lepani, were known as the Gang of Four, who shaped and developed public policy and gave meaning to the change administration requirements of the newly decolonized state in the formative years of PNG. Sir Rugby Namaliu served twice as Foreign Minister from 1982 to 84 and from 2002 to 2006 when he became Finance Minister. He lost his seat of Kokopo Open in 2007 and moved on to a successful career in business. His illness worsened on Friday, and on an aircraft that was chartered to take him to Port Moresby, while being assisted to board the plane, the late Sir Rugby passed on. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
Condolences were also sent in today on behalf of the Samare family and Lady Veronica, along with opposition leader Joseph Lelang. Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru has emphasized that with the Special Economic Zone Summit coming up and with the recent announcement that PNG will host a capital market summit, Maru says this will be important for investors and landowners to make investments on capital markets. Now, Special Economic Zones is a project spearheaded by Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru, who has been busy traveling to certain parts of the country to identify special economic zones. Now, Minister Maru also stated that the country is moving forward to take this project ahead so that investors in various other countries who are already exercising the Special Economic Zone projects in their part of the country and is showing results is something he says that PNG can also establish. Recently, in an interview with the media, Minister Maru highlighted that special economic zones could just be the answer to help combat the country's poor economic status.
Especially in many of the exciting projects that are now coming, and especially the economic zones that we are creating.
Maru said with the country blessed with so much natural resources, if agriculture, forestry, fisheries and the country's gold and other natural resources are utilized well, it can help combat the economic turmoil the country is faced with. Minister Maru said the government is doing its best to get the economy in order and to help ease the many issues the country is affected by.
The capital market. That's why we have to grow this market. The banks don't invest in that. You save money with the banks and they use your money to lend and they make money. They are the winners. You get 1% interest rate and they are doing it for 7%, 8%. So they are always winning.
He added that the capital market of the country is very important, and he has urged investors, landowners and business-minded individuals to start investing in capital markets as a return on investment where one could benefit.
Whereas when you invest in a share, the company invests, they make big profits, you get 8% or 10% added to your account every year.
Meanwhile, under the Ministry of International Trade and Investment, the country for the first time will host the Capital Market Summit here in Port Moresby on the 22nd of May 2023. Now, the summit is an opportunity for businesses around the country and, of course, around the world that will be participating in this one-day summit to share ideas and talk more on capital markets. A media development initiative and learning for gender equality was held at the Hilton Hotel in Port Moresby last Friday.
Gathered to participate in the media networking event were members of the 15th Spotlight Lenin and members of the media fraternity in Port Moresby and other dignitaries. The media is been reminded to report responsibly in the area of disability social inclusion as well as wider coverage of daily news around the country. This will help the citizens to better understand the information being disseminated in the mainstream media. Speaking to EMTV News, the president of SPNG Digital Information and Communication Technology Cluster, Winifred Kula, said the aim of the gathering was to improve their knowledge of gender equality, disability inclusion, and how ICT is now providing support, improvement, and empowerment.
Innovators are very important for our country, and then also for our women, bridging the divide in terms of the digital divide and also the business entrepreneurship divide as well.
She said there is more need to develop small medium enterprises or SMEs in PNG.
Efforts and investments into developing SMEs, for us it's still very, very low, which is 6%. So
the president further added that training women and girls on how to be involved in business is important as many citizens lack basic skills and knowledge. Hence, they are looking forward to do more trainings.
So we try to customize our training so that it can fit rural community settings. So we start off with very basic training in financials, basic training in business, basic trainings in ICT. So we also believe that digital is like an opportunity to leapfrog a lot of ideas and opportunities.
Jim John, National EMTV News.
Residents in Kyunga Town district of Western Province say the town needs development for them to access better services. Poor road conditions have been affecting many drivers.
What you are seeing is the current road condition in Kyunga Town, particularly the road leading to the main market and the Kyunga Town Primary School. In recent years, this road has not been fixed, which has been causing traffic congestion for all drivers. Residents in Kyunga say their requests made to town authorities have not been heard and want the relevant authorities to fix the deteriorating state of this road. Residents are also appealing to town authorities to establish proper bus stops in the town area. Currently, the town is experiencing an increasing number of people, resulting in limited space. Therefore, proper development is needed in the town area. Residents have also raised their concerns that whatever funding allocated for development must be used wisely to address such issues. In a recent interview with the town authorities who requested anonymity, funding constraints have been a major hindrance to address such issues. The town authorities in Kyunga have assured the residents that these issues are noted and they will negotiate with the leaders of both the North Fly District and the Fly River Provincial Government to address these issues. Jim John, National EMTV News.
Newly created electorate of Deltafly in the Western Province has ambitions, plans to connect to the Gulf Province and the whole of the Deltafly region by roads and bridge. These are a part of the development agendas the Deltafly MP Agena Gamai has for his province, which will begin from Kamusi to Gulf with the Tarama Bridge and which will connect to the Balimo roads and the Wasua-Balimo Highway.
Road infrastructure and bridges that will link all districts, LLGs, wards and villages is the ambitious undertaking of first-term MP for the newly created Deltafly electorate. MP Agena Gamai is undertaking this task, having recently returned from a trip in which he took 2 engineers down to the Deltafly electorate.
2 civil engineers, one from the works department and the other one is a private engineer. I was actually with them at Kamusi checking the road because we want to connect the road to Gulf Province. We are looking at Turoma Bridge. The DDA has already made a decision, to with 5 million kina to put the Turoma Bridge and then come to Wawai.
Another 5 million kina has been allocated to the Guawai Bridge, which will also span the coverage of infrastructure.
And then come to Guawai Bridge. We also made a decision in the DDA that DDA made a decision for 10 million to put another bridge there. So our interest is because in my district is a flat land. You see lagoon and swamps, creeks and rivers, and we had to get stones and white limestone, so that's why I want to connect the bridge, Turoma Bridge.
The MP expressed that his electorate is made up of waterways, tributaries, marshland and creeks, which is why it was imperative that the link to the mountain parts of the province via road is important.
Some of our land are Musula people up in the mountains. They have stone mountains and white limestone so that we can be able to connect there and then start pushing the stones and white limestone and then start putting all those on our logging roads, which RH already built them. And then cross over to Balimo, all those roads so that we can all the way come to Fly River side. The road that they normally call Wasua-Balimo Highway.
According to the local MP, to truly empower his people, road infrastructure, including bridges, is necessary for his people to be self-sufficient, as he is passionate about local SMEs, education and reducing poverty. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. The Brown Kapi Foundation celebrated the National Disability Day on March 29, 2023, witnessed the presence of people with impairment and foundation staff. The theme of the day was Word Matters, Remove Stigma, Promote Ability.
Present on the day, the National Disability Day on March 29th, were people, men, women and children living with impairment in the country. In this case, in Port Moresby, under the Brown Kapi Foundation, celebrated the National Disability Day. On the day, a few speeches were made by staff of Brown Kapi Foundation supporting people with impairment. On the day, it was also made clear that people living with impairment should not be labelled as people with disability, but people with impairment who are also able of doing things just as any other person or able person can do. It was also highlighted that those living with impairment, for some of them, it may have been from natural cause or from incidents that may have occurred in the past. The theme of the day was Word Matters, Remove Stigma, Promote Ability, is what those with impairments want to see happen so that each one can be seen equal, no matter one's condition. The day was celebrated well, where all issues relating to people with impairment were discussed.
Enga Governor Grand Chief Sir Peter Ipatas has expressed disappointment that political leaders from Hela and Southern Highlands provinces were not in attendance to open the new office of the Ombudsman Commission in Wabeg that will serve the three provinces.
Ipatas said bringing Ombudsman Commission to the doorstep of the people of these three provinces was something to be proud of given the history and bad reputation built over time. The new Ombudsman Commission office opened on Friday would now enable the people to exercise their rights in reporting corruption in the provinces, districts and LLGs. Sir Ipatas said he was disappointed that colleague politicians from the three provinces did not show up for such an important occasion for the people of Southern Highlands, Enga and Hela provinces.
Leadership lo imi lo Southern Highlands. Hela na Enga ino go straight. This black occasion, a leader must come. Leader must show him leadership. Me want me amama so se Ombudsman come sinan leya by class in me good. Amas gold money come. Amas oil money. Amas gas money me to finish here. And more people in leukemia. You me abrust money.
Sir Ipatas challenged Chief Ombudsman Richard Pagan and his team to work without fear or favor, and no one, including MPs, must be given any special treatment if allegations are raised by the people. He also told the people of the three provinces who attended the event to take note that they are also to change their attitude, so the monies from the non-renewable resources can trickle down to them.
Ombudsman come, university come, housing come, all something come. Let me appeal to you, man. You are here. You go back now. When I'm something, Governor talk today. When I'm something, AG talk today. When I'm something, Chief Ombudsman talk today. Now let me straight us blame me the triple province talk. You must talk. You must stop and fight.
The people of Enga, Hela and Southern Highlands have also been encouraged to keep the districts free from tribal fighting so that work on effective service delivery can proceed. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
Coffee production will drop significantly if the government continues to turn a blind eye to the coffee berry borer situations that is taking a hit in the Highlands region. A plantation and factory owner from Western Highlands province pins a spotlight on this issue recently.
Coffee is considered to be the very important commodity recognized globally, and it creates employment and stimulates economic growth, and is a multi-million kina industry. Grassroots from the village depend immensely on coffee to sustain themselves financially. However, the coffee berry borer now remain as the greatest threats to the production of coffee. A local coffee plantation owner from Western Highlands province, So Me, highlights the impact of the coffee berry borers.
Fruit coffee and berry borer backgrabbing. The first time we coffee weight loss, we make him long. 10 to 15% we make him lost. But now this berry borer make him now, we make him they go 35 to 40% and we make him lost long coffee. Talu was a berry borer backgrabbing plenty all inside of bean and backgrabbing plenty through. Bean especially inside of coffee, one block bean, one block coffee. Bean, this la fruit lo one block coffee, we plus action 2 block bean inside long this la coffee. But now berry borer come now and berry borer and backgrabbing 1 block bean, 1 block bean, we plus action. Nogat otherwise I'm backgrabbing 2 block bean one time na coffee goal of PPI. Now this la budget no me, I'm all back so stop and berry borer backgrabbing again all plant the floater and stop.
Mr. Mayor, who employs over 1,500 workers, says the situation is forcing him to lay off workers from his plantation. He said government, through its relevant departments, needs to intervene. Since the establishment of the coffee ministry in August of last year, this issue seems to be kept in silent. On many occasions, the president of the Farmers and Settlers Association, Wilson Thompson, called on various government departments to immediately undertake field research on the situation on the containment of the disease, but nothing has been done to date. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
A well-known education institution in the country that has not only graduated more than 5,000 students, but has also supported them finding job opportunities, witnessed the last graduation of its TVET program.
Mapex Training Institute in the country witnessed its final graduation of its TVET program in Port Moresby on Friday. Managing Director Marcus Kara said with the program coming to an end, they will try to see if they can secure other TVET programs through the government's initiative.
This is our last graduation for the TVET program. We have enrolled them in 2022, prior to 2021 as well. So some of them, they proceed to diploma programs.
He added that most of the graduates were government-sponsored through TVET program, while others were self-sponsored.
Supposed to be last year graduation, but then we delayed to this year due to workload, and also we adapted to the higher education system. So now with the higher education system, like most of the graduations, we will debate to the next year, or following year. So this year is students from the previous year, last year. So this together with certificate and diploma, and we will proceed on with the academic program as of this year and onwards.
So far from the TVET program, around 5,000 young Papua New Guinea professionals have walked out with certificates and diplomas. The next graduation for Mapex Training Institute will be next year.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. A local media company, Native Pixel Media, has extended its service to support Port Moresby's Nature Park this weekend with its Easter weekend event. Photographer 22-year-old Patrick Tubaret, who runs Native Pixel Media with his brother, said this is their first time for them to engage with an NGO.
Having started their small yet successful media business, and with nature on their side, local media company Native Pixel Media have managed to get gigs from various clients. Some of their work in filming and documentaries have attracted clients to keep their small business going. The person behind the lens is 22-year-old Patrick Tubaret, who works with his brother and runs their media business.
So basically, I'll be focusing on the booth and other parts of the event during the weekend, which is taking family photos as well, maybe some candidates of people walking in and out or celebrating the Easter egg hunt, probably, yeah.
But having not fully established yet, the duo have dedicated their time, and luckily enough, this Easter, the Port Moresby Nature Park will have them conduct some photo sessions for families that are looking to celebrate this Easter weekend at Port Moresby's Nature Park.
If you're doing anything in the community, like book drives, or if there's an arising issue in your community or your island or whatever it is, do reach out, and yeah, we will be happy to assist you, do documentaries, or basically document your whole organization doing what they can to help others in the community and rural places around the country.
Manager for marketing of Port Moresby Nature Park, Harry Egimbari, thanked Native Pixel Media for supporting Nature Park out of their goodwill this weekend.
Patrick will be providing support services to this event. He'll be taking photos at the photo booth and capture moments when we have a fun day on Easter Monday.
For this Easter weekend, Nature Park has lots of fun activities lined up, and families looking to celebrate this Easter can visit the Port Moresby Nature Park.
For a young person as Patrick, just 22 years old, to lend his support to us speaks volumes of him as a person and also of the potential of young people in the country to lend support to charity organizations, and we couldn't be any more prouder of him and also very grateful of his time and expertise to come support this family and community event.
Managing Director for Mapex Training Institute, Marcus Kara, told the media during the graduation ceremony that the institution, Mapex Training Institute, also provides employment opportunities through its employment program to find jobs for students while they are still studying.
The employment program at Mapex Training Institute has seen many of its graduating students get permanent full-time jobs after doing their practicals or work experience for various business houses. Those that got the job were students from Mapex Training Institute TVET program. According to the Managing Director, Marcus Kara, the program has really helped in finding suitable employment for the skilled Papua New Guineans, especially when jobs are hard to find these days.
We also have our OJT program, on the job training program. The lecturers and the trainers here at our campus, we engage them into practical aspects as well. So they especially, make arrangements with the organizations to send students out for OJT programs. And when students perform well in their field on the OJT program, the organizations, decide to, recruit them or employ them.
Kara added that despite the tough times the country is going through, the hard work of the students and the support team from Mapex Training Institute, students after graduating are able to get a job through their employment pathway program that the institute has established with business houses.
Most of the students, they graduated today, they were already engaged by organization, and they're on the, what you call full-time payroll. And they're working.
He said many of the students that graduated in the past have gone to working in big recognized organizations in the country.
NCD Governor Powes Pakop this morning shared his personal ordeal and experiences following his medical situation recently, where he was rushed to the Pacific International Hospital and later evacuated for further emergency medical attention in Australia. Governor Pakop emphasized the importance of physical fitness and having faith as key factors of coming out of his experience and continuing to live life.
Lifestyle diseases are on the rise and recently have been responsible for 50% of deaths in Papua New Guinea hospitals. Health Minister Dr. Lino Tom said in the past death by infections had a higher rate. However, today the rate of lifestyle diseases in the country has gone up. With World Health Day to be celebrated next weekend, this morning during the weekly Walk for Life, the active city governor Powes Pakop drew on his own experiences.
I learned some health lesson and life lesson in very hard way. Sometimes you start to talk, give me money. We take it for granted. We go to one here. But when you really face the situation, then you really understand the significance of those, words or, talk or, lessons that we need to learn.
He urged all citizens to act and choose a selective lifestyle with the responsibility to make that change.
Number one, things to do and person who should help you is yourself. You start with yourself. You are responsible for your own health.
Governor Pakop also stressed on the issue of mental health to keep a healthy mindset.
Also, we talk, your mental health depends on you all. Depend on each of us. Plenty time, some line story talk backside. There's nothing to do with you. And worry from here. All like story kind. But you take their whatever gossip or whatever talk backside, it come ahead to you now. It affects your mental health now. You cannot cross now. You cross your mama, cross your papa. You cross your beginning in nothing. You redirect your own anger into somebody else. It's because you have allowed somebody to influence your mind.
Lifestyle diseases share risk factors similar to prolonged exposure to three modifiable lifestyle behaviors. Smoking, unhealthy diet, and physical inactivity will result in the development of chronic diseases, specifically heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome, and chronic obstructive pulmonary. And according to Governor Parkop, you make the choice to make the change now in order to save your life. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
The Daulo Commodities Cooperative Society Limited of Eastern Highlands Province has successfully launched its tree nursery of more than 50,000 different tree species. The society has been a leading supplier of samplings of different species of trees for the last 5 years, supplying to cooperatives and individuals to plant trees to combat climate change.
Director for Daulo Commodities Society, Jerry Aviro, said their focus is on tree planting and rural agribusiness for all people to have access to sustainable approach to community forestry and climate change impacts in the province. Their strategies are to move economic development plus increase the base of co-op movement, contributing to the region's measurable quality of life to ensure long-term vitality of the community. They are working in collaboration with the provincial and national government development priorities to address climate change issues and to produce everyday diet and increase daily customer satisfaction or needs at the community. The main aim and goal of establishing the corporation is to generate family income, provide employment for the youths and unfortunate people in the village, and equal participation in the business context. Cynthia Mako, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Kyunga Sports.
Welcome to Kyunga Sports. Following the official kick-off of the Port Moresby Soccer Association pre-season last weekend, the competition is now into its round 2 playoff. Yesterday afternoon witnessed a compelling contest between the Blue Kumuls Football Club and the Samika Football Club. The Kumuls side claimed a win by 6 points to 0 over the Samika side.
A tussle that can be best described as a giveaway affair was competed yesterday afternoon between the Blue Kumuls FC and the Samika FC. The Blue Kumuls side claimed a win by 6 points as the Samika side lost. This was the first win for the Blue Kumuls side, and their coach Mati Terry, who was present during the contest, aired his view on the match.
The match is played on the perspective that the game has to be up another level. I think that the boys gave the other team a bit of a run that they need so that they can prepare for the proper season.
An elated Blue Kumuls captain Steven Inia also shared his view following their first win.
The game is like the perform well. The result the liking them like so overall performance for boys the expecting them so all display the field, so me proud of boys too.
With this win, the Blue Kumuls side will have to prepare and train ahead of their other 2 fixtures during the last 2 weeks of the preseason playoff. Lisa Puni, Kyunga Sports.
To an update on the Capital Rugby Union, and today's matches have been cancelled by the management due to the heavy rain witnessed yesterday. The competition will resume in 2 weeks' time to allow time for the venue to recover before the games can proceed.
The second half of yesterday's main match between the Uni Piggies and Brothers was cancelled due to the heavy downpour which took place in the afternoon. An official post made by Capital Rugby Union President Corey Chan says today's matches are cancelled and rulings will be made by the executives this week in line with the CRU competition rule. President Chen said they would like to thank all clubs for their patience and understanding, and to the venue management team for guiding all vehicles through safe passage out of the precinct yesterday. Now, with the severe heavy downpour experienced yesterday afternoon, as you can see, the Bava Park playing field won't be conducive for today's matches to proceed, hence the cancellation. MTV's Chukai Sports will keep you posted. Lisa Puni, Chukai Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
You're watching Chukai Sports. The SPNG Hunters will play their Round 5 match this coming weekend in Queensland, Australia, after having been on bye on Saturday.
Having opened their 2023 season on a high note, the SPNG Hunters successfully won their 2023 season opening match in Queensland, Australia. Now, the second match for the Hunters didn't turn out well, but the team drew in their second match. For the third match, the SPNG Hunters flew into Port Moresby, where they played in front of a home crowd, but were defeated on home soil. The fourth match for the SPNG Hunters supposed to take place this weekend. Unfortunately, the SPNG Hunters are on bye. Now, the fifth match, where the Hunters will take on one of the strongest side in the Host Plus Cup, will take place in Queensland, Australia.
The National Rugby League competition is set to kick off this month, where 12 participating franchises will participate, including a new club that has come on board, the EMK Civic Pride.
Now, one of the franchises also participating in the 2023 National Rugby League competition is the EMK Civic Pride. Now, only recently the team played its first trial match on Friday against the Central Dabaris here in Port Moresby. EMK Civic Pride is one of the 12 franchises that will be participating in this year's Rugby League competition. Now, the National Rugby League competition is only a few weeks away before it starts its 2023 season.
That ends Chukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby becoming cloudy with chances of periods of rain showers and thunderstorm. Daru, chances of periodic rain showers and thunderstorm, then easing tonight. Kerema, frequent rain showers and thunderstorm, then easing tonight. Alata, occasional rain showers and thunderstorm, then easing. Popondetta, frequent rain showers and thunderstorm. In the Momase region, Ley, periods of rain showers and thunderstorm. Medang, Wewak and Vanimo, cloudy with frequent rain showers and thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, KV and Kokopo and Rabaul, cloudy with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Kimbe, cloudy with periods of rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Buka, partly cloudy. In the Highlands region, all centers, periods of frequent rain showers and thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 2nd of April 2023. From the entire news team, have a safe working week. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.